there, I'm Sandy Allnock, and yes, I am vlogging in my Cookie Monster pajamas. You might be wondering why I'm in my Cookie Monster pajamas today, and I'm celebrating the fact that I get to wear pajamas when I work. I know it's not a blessing very many people get, and I usually don't wear my Cookie Monster PJs, especially not with the hood. But since it's a vlog and it's New Year's Eve, I thought it was about time that Cookie Monster saw the light of day. I was thinking about going through all the numbers, and the YouTube numbers, and the Instagram numbers, and the Facebook numbers, and... But honestly, none of the numbers means jack squat to me. There's a quote by John Maxwell, and he says that success is when you add value to yourself. Significance is when you add value to others. And I am all about significance. I don't care about success other than I need to pay the mortgage and I need to pay the ever-increasing health insurance premiums, and I gotta buy dog food. Occasionally I have to buy pajamas, but for the most part, I'm okay where I am. I don't need a lot. I don't need to make a fortune. I used to spend more time looking at the success side of things. And I guess as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize I want to pay more attention to the significance side. There were 3 big things that happened to me this year that I want to celebrate. One is that my book finally launched. I wrote 2 books about Bible journaling, and there's a link in the description if you want to go to the Bible Journaling Made Simple website and see more about it. But that was a long process, and it took a lot to get there. I built a YouTube channel around it where I post a video every Sunday, and I have a Facebook group that has like 2,000 people in it from all over the world who are excited about the book, about Bible journaling, about their love for God, and I love that. I am so excited to be part of that movement in the world, to get people into both the Bible and art all at the same time. The second thing I want to celebrate is my amazing partnership with Puerto Rico. I was astounded this past year that it just kind of happened that I got mad enough about how Puerto Rico was not being supported enough to recover from Hurricane Maria in 2017. So I decided to just get on a plane. I don't book flights like that really on a regular basis. I don't just jump on planes and go places, but I went to the island and I painted all over the island, and then I came back and I painted more, and by September, at the 1-year anniversary of Hurricane Maria, I had a whole bunch of paintings that I put up for auction, and we raised thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for Puerto Rico. That was crazy amazing. I'm actually going back in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna go see the work, and I'm gonna go meet Lin-Manuel Miranda, and that's gonna be exciting. So stay tuned for pictures, hopefully a selfie, not with the hat. We also got together and auctioned off a bunch of my cards this year online, and you all donated so much that we had thousands to give to that hurricane relief as well. And I am just over the moon with the response to these, and look for more in the future, because I think that's going to be an amazing way for us together to have a significant impact on the world. My third celebration is one that's a little more wonky, because my life was becoming difficult this past year in the winter and spring, early on in the year, when my art classes website started tanking. Things started happening, buttons would disappear, features would disappear. I was manually logging everybody in. I was up till all hours of the night all the time, emailing with everybody, trying to fix things, refunding money for people who bought things 2 or 3 years ago and they suddenly didn't have access and they were mad. And I've lost them permanently now. I didn't have any income for a long time this year, and I panicked. And it was a good panic, because it resulted in taking all my savings, everything that was there, and I handed it over to an amazing agency. An ad agency that went through my site. They redeveloped it, they rebuilt it on a new platform. They transferred over as much data as possible. We had a little hiccups in some of the things, but for the most part, it's there. The classes are there, things are working, and it has long-term viability now, which is super important to me, because I was getting exhausted trying to keep up with fixing it myself, and I am an artist. I'm not a geek. So having that fixed is a huge thing off my plate. Another celebration from the art classes site is that I finally got the color pencil jumpstart and the watercolor jumpstart classes added. I'm so thrilled to have those baseline classes that I can recommend people take and then build on them with higher level classes and teach you more. The agency did some amazing work for me as well around branding, and that has really resonated with me and informed some decisions that I'm making for 2019. The branding exercises, they had me sit down with them and explain what I do and why I do it and how I do it differently than other people. We couldn't really find anybody to do an apples to apples comparison to, which is kind of part of my problem, is that I do a little bit of everything. I do crafting, I do fine art, I teach, I do Bible journaling, I wrote a book. I've got all these different balls in the air. And at the time that I went to the agency, I was considering actually dropping one of those lines of business. And I was going through all these thought processes. Do I keep the fine art and drop everything else? Because I love painting, I love learning. And I'm not learning in my crafting anymore, so maybe I need to go where I'm learning because I'm excited about that. Or maybe I stay with my crafting because that's my first love, my first platform that I've had, and stay with that and drop my love of fine art. Or do I drop the Bible journaling because that's offensive to some of these other audiences? And how do I keep all of it going and maintain my integrity at the same time? And what the agency helped me to do was find that common ground between everything that I do, which is that I am built with a passion to empower people to release the creativity that's already within them. That applies no matter what I'm doing. I really believe that people have creativity inside them and that just releasing that can do amazing things in their lives, whether it's in their art or in something else they're doing, and make them an amazing entrepreneur because now they're freed to think creatively, or they can solve medical mysteries, or whatever it is going on in their lives, they can apply a creative approach to it. And that has really helped me to be able to look at everything that I do through that lens. Am I helping people to see themselves as creative beings? And that was really the start of a lot of the thinking that I have been going through about what to do in 2019. I am not dropping any lines of business. I've gotten past that panic. I'm going to start doing some streamlining though. And some of those things are going to affect content that I put out. So I thought I'd explain a little bit about what I'm doing in each of those areas and what I plan to keep doing and which parts I'm not going to do anymore. Bible journaling is going to stay about the same. And I'm seeing a lot of impact. The Facebook group that I have, Bible Journaling Made Simple, is growing by leaps and bounds. And there are just tons of people who have never picked up a pencil or a paintbrush before who are excited about doing that now. And that is significant impact. That is amazing to me, and I want to keep that up. I do a weekly Bible journaling video. I'm going to keep doing those because people are loving the really simple ideas that I'm giving them there. For the art classes line of business, I'm going to drop a couple things. One is the Instagram account and the Facebook page for the site itself. Both are artclasses.com. I haven't been really posting things on them, and that's bad on me, and it makes it look like the company is dead. If somebody goes to it, it makes it look like there's nothing going on. So I'm just going to post a thank you very much. We're still active, but we're active over here, and point to places where I am active and can communicate with people, because that's just too much. I just can't do everything. I'm also going to make the blog on that site defunct because Google Analytics says nobody looks at it. So if nobody looks at it, I'm not going to do that. There's some art-related type of content that I've put on there, inspirational content about how to think about creativity, etc. That's going to move over to my blog in certain ways. So I'm going to incorporate that content elsewhere. I'm just not going to have that blog anymore. One less thing to put on my plate. I also hope in the next 6 months to a year to get a bonus lesson added to each one of my classes. And how will you know when that bonus lesson is added? Well, I now have the ability, because of all the work done on the website, to email, I think, everybody who's taken that class. And I can now email you to say, go check it out, because there's one more lesson in there. That is definitely what I want to do in the coming year, as well as add more classes to help grow you from level to level to level as you develop as an artist. For my fine art, I have not really figured out what I'm going to do necessarily with that. I am going to eventually do another auction for another charity at some point. I continue to provide paintings and cards and things for people who are patrons of mine, and that's people who give $1 to $5 to $10 or $20 depending on what they want, and they will get some things in return. Some of that will be some of those paintings, some of that will be cards, etc. And you can go to patreon.com/SandyAllnock to find out more about that. But as far as where to share the fine art, it's going to continue to be shared kind of in my main accounts, my main Sandy Allnock on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll see what happens from there because I don't really know where that's going yet, and I want to leave the door open to see what happens next. A lot of that will turn into classes as I get better at what I'm doing and I learn something. I want to build a class to be able to teach it to you. Next is my crafty side, and there are going to be some changes here, but don't panic, okay? Just don't panic. Sit down if you're not already. I am going to change a few things. First off, I want to let you know that on YouTube, some weird things have happened. I've finally reached 90,000 subscribers, but when I looked back at the numbers, I found out that when I was half the size, I had more views per video. And that's just a weird thing. There's a couple of things that it could be attributed to. One might be that now my videos are terrible and they used to be great. I'm totally open to that. I don't think that's probably it, but it's possible. Another would be that my content is a little bit different. And that is definitely true because back then, when I was much smaller, I was trying really hard to grow and I was competing with others and trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I was spending a lot of time looking for new products, researching them, testing them out, trying to see what we could do with them and what new thing we could make with them, and trying to guess at what you would buy because I was reliant on affiliate sales, and that's always a train you can't get off of once you start on that. And I found that I was searching for things to sell you, and that felt weird. That just didn't feel right to me. I know a lot of you are chasing the new products too. You want to see all the new stuff, and that's great. There's plenty of places you can go for that. And that's possibly why people have stopped coming to me for that, because I don't really do that anymore. I focus on what I do well, which is coloring, and I teach you how to color. And I'm one of the few out there that doesn't always just speed through and put music on during the coloring portions of my videos, and I know that's important to you. And I want to keep that up. And that precludes me from spending a lot of time talking about how to stamp or how to die cut or all those sorts of things. Another reason for the drop in numbers could be that people just aren't sharing the way they used to. They're just taking in all the content and maybe using it, but they're not sharing it on their Facebook. They're not posting it on their blog, not posting links to things, so new people aren't being exposed to it. But there's one other explanation that I think I want to play around with, and that's the YouTube algorithms. I saw a video that explained this really well and really simply. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but they said, think about a pool of 100 people, and YouTube suggests a video to 100 people, but only 50 people watch it. So the next video, they only suggest it to those 50 people. And if only 50% of those people watch it, then they're only suggesting it now to 25 people. And the more videos you put out, the faster that compression happens. And the faster you work yourself out of having any viewers left. I think that's possible. So I'm going to try something to test that theory and see. I'm going to cut back a little bit on YouTube videos. Instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to do Monday and Friday. And in between, on Wednesday, is going to be a special blog post of some sort. Now, there can be all different kinds of things I can do with that. Pinnable graphics that are really educational on super specific topics like composition, or assessing a certain color, or shading issues, or something that I can illustrate in pictures potentially better than I can on a video. There's a masking technique that I have planned that I want to do in the near future. There's a whole bunch of different topics that I could do. I can also pair those with Instagram videos of the coloring portion. I might do a Facebook Live of the coloring portion. There's a lot of different ways that I can approach these. Who knows what it might be, but I want to be able to engage in a different way on the blog than I have. And that is the plan for right now. There will still be some extra videos that I do from time to time when there's a blog hop or a special release or some special occasion. But for the most part, my main videos now are going to be on Monday and Friday with that special Wednesday post. You can go subscribe to my blog if you want to, but I know a lot of people don't like getting that much email, and you already get an email from my videos, so you don't want to go there. Well, I have a solution for you. Go to your phone and set a reminder for yourself on Wednesdays, whatever time of day you normally go check out YouTube and blogs and stuff. Set yourself a reminder to go to my blog, and you won't miss anything that way, because I want you to be able to see the content that's there and weigh in on what is valuable to you. So if those graphics are not helpful, I want to know that. If they are helpful, I want to know that too, because that helps me to be a better teacher and to be able to explain things better to you. And while I'm doing it, I'm adding significance to your life. That's about it for my New Year's news. Cookie Monster and I, as well as the pups, want to wish you a very happy and healthy and creative 2019 to come. Thank you so much for all of your support over the last year, especially big shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.